on, my people? How we doing? Let me just see where we're at. Let me get my shot correct. And we're gonna go around and make sure that everything is everything. Okay, we good here. We good. We done established that. All right, let's move. Let's move and groove. I'm glad, I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic. I'm overjoyed. Let me see where we at. Okay. I'm not seeing it just yet on the YouTube. Facebook is rocking with me. Okay. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go on the Facebook. Okay, Facebook is rocking with me. All right. Let me see what's going on. As the Fugees would say, what's going on? I'ma give everybody my issue done. Gun by my side, just in case I gotta. Okay, where we at on the Twitter? I'm not seeing it, but let me go to my profile. Let me go to the profile. Yes, indeed, I'm seeing it now. Okay, I had to move over. There I am. There I is. What's going on? We on Twitter. Let's move over to the Twitch. Twitch is rocking with me. Let me hold on. Let me see what's going on with YouTube. Let me see what the heck is going on with the YouTube. Come on. Let's get right. All right. Good. YouTube is rocking with me as well. We live. We in the building. We in full effect. That's good. Let's move this over here. And let's move that over there. Boop, 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 boop. What's going on, my people? The Cape Cod Kid, I'm here with you. It's a beautiful thing. I'm glad. I'm thrilled. Ecstatic, as I said, to be back in action. We're doing this thing late night. It is what it is. We're doing this thing late night. I'm personally inclined to the late night hours. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. We got folk that got to get up early for their work day tomorrow, and so they might not be able to catch it live. Hopefully, they go back and catch it after. But another late night episode, which is something that Sand City Sports is going to include and continue to be a part of the mix as we move into September proper. Out of the summer months, certainly kind of not as much. Although who knows? Clubs, not Club Sachet, but that nightcap, right? Nightcap is moving and grooving and booming. Even though Shannon and Ocho Cinco, they done moved it up with the Olympics. Shout out to, as I said, Nightcap. Also shout out to the Volume and Colin Cowherd. And that was ahead of the curve in terms of understanding the new media and the shift. But I know that Nightcap will return to these later hours once NFL season starts in earnest, right? Once football gets back and is there, Nightcap will return and kind of be within similar hours. But nonetheless, this is when we have the time to get at you, and thrilled. And we're gonna blast off, as I said, all of the. Let me see if I can. Okay, so I can kind of see. All right. Let me just, because I'm seeing myself now in the YouTube space. That's good. Just in case anybody jumps in the comment, I can react to the comments in the Twitter space. I can see that as well. And I can see the Twitch. All right. And so we're going to dive right in. Thanks, everybody. I know late night, so whoever's, but let's get right into this, folks. We're going to start with the Olympics. And in terms of basketball, Team USA handled business, got the gold medal. I know, it's Tuesday. This happened on Saturday. The women did their thing on Sunday. But I have to give my quick recap in terms of sealing the deal. Come to mind of me with Team USA in the Olympics off top. Nobody roots for Goliath. And for the history people, the sports historians out there, y'all know that was a book written by the late, great Wilt Chamberlain, and it still rings true to today. Nobody roots for the favorite. Okay, thank you, Q3 Media. Appreciate that. Okay, very much on the Twitter space. Much love. My man Q3 Media and the Sports Cheetah had a great show that I was tuning into, and they were doing dynamic things and have branched off to do other things. I see actually the Sports Cheetah is back. Sports Cheetah was overseas and is now back in the mix. But I appreciate that like very much on the Twitter space. And I'm always, as I said, interested in comments, questions, comments, concerns, and certainly collaboration, but respect. But let's get back to Team USA. Nobody roots for Goliath, folks, right? And so, right, you know what I mean? It's a catch-22. Team USA wins, they're supposed to win, right? But we know how we felt during that Serbia game. Y'all know how y'all felt during the Serbia game. Okay, a lot of you guys, myself included, could you not that I was rooting against Team USA. And that's really something, that Serbia game was down 13 points going into the fourth quarter. Serbia won every single quarter. Okay, wasn't watching that game, but your boy studied the box score. Your boy studied the analytics. So I'm looking at those checkpoints. Serbia was up to begin, then they're up after the first quarter, up after the second quarter, up after the third quarter, up after the fourth quarter. I want to talk about the bandwagon. I was off that thing. I was off the bandwagon, hook, line, and sinker, just based off, Serbia. You got arguably the best player on the face of the earth in Nikola. And we've already discussed that the Olympics means more to some of these countries than it does Team USA. Speaking of Serbia, what I saw in terms of their sportsmanship, in terms of their gratitude, in terms of their appreciation during the medal ceremony, right, from the Serbian side, how they were just, who wants bronze? Nikola Jokic don't want no bronze. He didn't show up to Paris to get a bronze medal. Bogdanovich didn't show up to Paris to get get a bronze medal. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for no bronze medal. Okay, but how they received that medal, okay, with gratitude, again, with appreciation, with recognition, that we do this for the homeland, we do this for the motherland, we do this out of our heart, okay, even though we're athletes and we live a life of luxury, this is coming from a different place, all right, and that's why we play for our national teams, and we really want to get our national teams to that peak spot. And so I was the Serbian team, how they received the bronze and just the enthusiasm, that really spoke to me, right? Those are those life lessons that we can see and we learn through sport. Contrarily, folks, what did Pat Riley say? There's only two things in sports. There's winning and there's misery. All right, the French team, they was feeling it. So those I was watching very closely, and if you go back watching, you see Team but look at some of the, it wasn't even a side eye. Side eye isn't the right word for how the French team looked at Team USA. Yes, acknowledge you won the gold, but there was a look in Wemby's eye. Okay, you can go back and see, you're making up narratives. Now, no, I'm not. Okay, and Wemby balled out, hit the first three to begin the game. He balled out, had a great game. And, it was just too much. It was just too much. And we'll discuss what Chef Curry did and what the team did down the stretch. But you want to talk about, just, what did Edward Norton say in 25th Hour? Shout out to 25th Hour. That's one of Spike Lee's underappreciated classics. 25th Hour. I'm talking Edward Norton. I'm talking Philip Seymour Harris, the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late great. Barry Pepper in that movie, Tony Saragusa. We might have lost Tony Saragusa. I can't come up, but he's in that movie. Undercover, 25th Hour. If you haven't seen it, find it in the streaming world. I'm putting you on a little bit of game right now. I'm putting you on a little game right now. See 25th Hour. You will not be disappointed. Netflix is not recommending this. Your boy, the Cape Cod Kid, is recommending this for you. Netflix does a good job with their recommendations, though, right? When they, Netflix, when they would say, you saw this one, you might like this one, they are on point. How they do it with the algorithms, that's beyond that. That's a whole nother, brave new world that we live in with these algorithms and how they know what you're going to like before you even know what you like it. Okay, but I know that you will like, if you respect Spike Lee and a Spike Lee joint, okay, you'll like 25th Hour. Go ahead and check it out. And another reason you're going to like 25th Hour, I don't mind telling you, you're going to like it. Your boy, you're going to like it. It's not even a question. If you're going to like it, it's a well done film. Undercover, you know what I mean? You're right. If you like a Reservoir Dogs, right? If you like a Reservoir Dog, you know what I'm talking about. The forerunner to Pulp Fiction, right? Our indie class. If you like a Usual Suspects, you know what I'm talking about. I'm dating myself. I don't care. All right, a Usual Suspect. If you like a Fight Club, you heard me. You're gonna like 25th Hour, even though it's one of these films that's kind of in limbo. It's kind of hard to find. Find it, you'll appreciate it. But what I'm getting at in that, also another reason you're going to like it, I'm not done yet on this. I have to make this last point on this. And please, anybody comment, let me know how you feeling. But I'm going off without, you know what I mean? Why you'll like 25th Hour. Written by, the screenplay for 25th Hour is written by David Benioff. You say, who the heck is David Benioff? Game of Thrones. Say no more. Who the heck is David Benioff? Who the heck is D.B. Weiss? Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon. Say no more. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. David Benioff, right? We don't get to greatness just overnight. Right? We don't get to greatness overnight. David Benioff wrote the screenplay for 25th Hour. Spike Lee directed it. Out of this world. Edward Norton in that film. What'd he say? He said, champagne for my real friends and real pain for my sham friends. You heard me? Champagne for the real friends and real pain for the sham friends. What I saw from France on that medal stand, right? You can't express. This is beyond, you know what I mean? Oh, we won. No. This is beyond that foolishness and that juvenile behavior, the trash talking nonsense. Oh, we won. I'm gonna shove it in your face. Bad sportsmanship, the foolishness. I see it in youth sports. Stomp it out early. It doesn't do anything for you. Stomp it out early. Okay, France on that medal stand. Whew. Wemby, hugging his mother after the game. Sports and it takes us. You know what I mean? And they wanted to do it for their country. And hey, I'm Team USA all the way, so I'm not having none of that. I'm home team all the way. But you know what I mean? You can kind of identify and appreciate just that sentiment. This game was not as close as the Spain game in 2008, right? It wasn't as close as the Serbia game. And Serbia was a thriller in Manila, right? Serbia. Well, hold on, we got chats. What's going on here? I got chats. Oh, okay. That's Riverside. Riverside's talking with me. Okay, that's Riverside. That's my platform that was talking to me. What's going on? I can't. Hey, we got somebody. We got somebody that's watching. We got somebody that's watching. Hold on. Okay, good. I done pause myself on the. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? We got to hold on. Okay, let me just respond. I got a chat. What's going on, Preston? Hey, what's going on? Rocking with me late night. I appreciate that. That's one of my first comments. What's going on, Preston? Thank you for tuning in on the YouTube. What's up? That's what's up. Facebook is what it's doing. Again, it's a little bit late for people on the East Coast. I recognize that. A couple of views in the Twitter space. Respect. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to get, with everybody. Hey, like, comments, you do all that. Please like, comment, subscribe. Holla at your boy. Appreciate. But let's get right. We're talking about France. I'm going to make that connection. I gave you the 25th Hour reference. You won't be disappointed. For the 25th Hour. Check it out. And I gave you the quote, right? And this is only if it's 21. Only if it's 21. I'm not average. Only if it's 21. But he says, champagne for my real friends. And give me that real pain for the sham friends. The real pain for the sham friends. France, you touch my heart in terms of how y'all received them silver medals. In terms of how y'all received the silver medals. And you had to just be there. Right? And USA, receiving the good. Right? But nobody roots, you know what I mean? Nobody roots for Goliath. But we got to give love when you get to that podium, right? Because had they lost, people would have been ready. If Team USA was in that bronze medal spot and France or Serbia was in the gold medal spot, people would still be going off. They'd be still going off right now. All right? They'd be still going off. Okay, so respect to Team USA in terms of how they did, what they did. And, just to get to that, you know what I mean? They were the Avengers. We had the Dream Team. We had the Redeem Team. These babies was the Avengers. Was the Avengers, and that just kind of give me, I want all love. It's an election year, but I want all love. But when I hear the Avengers, we had the issue in Birmingham last summer where, the dude threw the hat off and the Avengers came through. Okay, I'm not getting political. We want all love. Okay, people, sometimes we have back and forth and we have issues and whatever. Fortunately, there was no serious injuries in the Birmingham scuffle up. You know what I mean? And don't disrespect hardworking people. You know what I mean? And and something, and handle things. But when it's over, and we move home and we go home safely, and that's what's up. That's what's up. But when I hear Avengers, I saw the memes last year was going crazy. You know what I mean, from the Birmingham situation. But this was the name, right? This was the name of Team USA and how they saw themselves in terms of taking back the prominence after the debacle in the World Championship last year. We're gonna come back and we're gonna handle business. And LeBron was out front early. LeBron was out front early after the World Championship debacle, and he put this team together. LeBron was crucial in putting a team together. LeBron, the Renaissance man who does so many different things, business, social justice, basketball player, basketball just organizer, clutch ball, whole 9 yards. And right, so this team got it done. There were some tough choices, which I'm going to talk about in a second. I'm going to talk about the tough choices. But again, nobody roots for Goliath, and you have to give the credit where the credit they see it. They achieved what they set out to achieve, and they have to get all the respect. Kind of so on and forth. There was a situation with Joel Embiid on the podium, and people, you know what I mean, French, people were, in their feelings, and they have a right because imagine if Embiid had played for France. Right. Imagine if Embiid had played for France. Oh my goodness! And I thought that France, from what I saw, could have done a better job of utilizing Gobert and Wemby at the same time. They kind of played them in different lineups, and what I thought they could have, Wemby and Gobert could have played more to me, just because Wemby, even though he's 7'4" and the taller of the two, he can do it from the outside. So you can put Wemby on the perimeter and then just bury Gobert. Wemby does have better post moves than Gobert, so that's where you can't really put Gobert out and bring Wemby in because he's not a 3-point shooter. But still, imagine if they had Embiid too. Yikes! With France. Though, and this is kind of what people, they did not, there was no Ricky Rubio, right, in the backcourt, who was a driving force for Spain. They didn't have, like, Fournier was there, he was doing his thing, but Fournier, he's a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth. France just didn't have the guard play to me, right? The bigs, obviously, the continuity, doing it for your country, obviously, but USA could have turned up in the third quarter and smacked them boys around and got a double-digit victory, and you know it, I know it. In the third quarter, like, Team USA was comfortably ahead, and they let France hang around, and then Chef Curry did what Chef Curry had to do. Then Chef Curry did what he had to do down the stretch, and that's what I want to right. So this is just a historic, that performance by the chef, and how he did what he did. You know the heck I'm talking about. It's historic. It's going to go down in the annals of history. That final sequence, that final 2 minutes, is going down in the annals of history. It was, I'm gonna say it was, you don't want to be prisoner. I was gonna say Everest. It wasn't an Everest just because Everest moment is like 1972, right when the Olympics, 72 Olympics. I believe that was in Munich. I should know this, being a history person. 50 years ago, was where the gold medal game was stolen from the Americans, and the Russian team had like 18 repeats before they won the game. But my point with that is, you remember it. And my point with the Steph Curry situation is, it wasn't, his shots did not decide the game. They weren't game-winning shots. They were game-sealing shots, but particularly the rainbow at the end. In that moment, to have the confidence and the gall, frankly, because the game is still in question. He could have missed that shot. France comes down and hits a three, and then now we're back in like a one possession game. So he could have missed that shot. So just the audacity to take the shot in the first place. But then you have to kind of understand who you're talking about, right? You have to understand the character and the you know what I mean? To take that, first of all, taking, again, not just that you could have missed it and the game's going to be close, but to take a trick shot, right? It was a circus trick shot. That's what it was. In a game where you are on the same court as LeBron James, you're on the same court as Kevin Durant, right? You're on the same, right? So you got greatness, right? Those are the big three, and AD, who did his thing defensively. Shout out to Chicago. Right? Best basketball tradition, bar none, in the country. Best basketball tradition. Shout out to Hoop Dreams. New Jersey has the best tournament. The Tournament of Champions in New Jersey is the best. But just for me, culture, players, Chicago. And that's Anthony Davis for you, right? So all around game, all around, right? Not just, you want to score a bunch of points and have terrible player efficiency, but all around. What AD did defensively, rebounding wise, willing passer, sometimes willing, it's unselfish to a fault, was huge. But that was, and this is what I'm getting at with Chef, to pull it all off, right? That was like what Simone Biles does, right? To execute in that fashion of elite, you want to almost say like just tens across the boards or not, you know what I mean? That was something that, is going to go down in the annals. You know what I mean? It's not the photo finish. I just want to be clear because, we're having this conversation. Was it clutch? Was it not clutch? It doesn't, by the definition of clutch, count because of the time and the score, and it wasn't like a one possession game. You know what I mean? They did have a little bit of cushion when he did what he did, but how he did what he did, folks, and that, you know what I mean? It's going down in the annals of history as a great Olympic performance. Yes, 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 yes. All of those things. But same, right? So when we talk about Michael Phelps, when we talk about Michael Johnson winning the 200 and the 400, yeah, I'm putting it there, folks. I'm putting it there. Yeah. Because it was just it was Mozart, right? It was Mozart. You listen to Mozart, and it's just right, the simplicity. When you see like a masterpiece is something that is exceedingly complex and at the same time very simple. It's a masterpiece. Okay, the complexity of it is off the charts, but it's very readily comprehended. You can see and appreciate and understand the greatness while recognizing the the loftiness of what you're witnessing. And that's what Steph Curry, that's like Tiger Woods at the Masters. Yes. Because he pulled it off. Like, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, he didn't miss not one of those threes. It was in, it was one after the other. And he got the, it was just all, there wasn't a mulligan in there. It was just in succession. And the finale, the rainbow was just, the pinnacle, the heights of everything. And so, yeah. So Steph, right? But go back and watch it, folks. That's what I have to also kind of note in that. Like, as we are awestruck by Steph, look at the passing in those sequences, right? Steph kicked it to Durant. Durant kicked it back to Steph. There was unselfishness on one of the threes. I believe when he was at the top of the key and he up faked somebody. Shout out to his fundamentals, right? See how Steph schemes himself open. By the way, Steph Curry, and this is what he said when he was drafted years and years and years ago. A lot of people don't really, or a narrative about Steph Curry that I think is underappreciated is how strong he is. He had the ankle injuries early in his career. He's not a, you know what I mean? He's got muscles. He's a lean person. And then, he's 6'3", 6'4". He's not 6'3". He's not like a 6'2", 6'3". He's like a 6'4", you know what I mean? He has like Chauncey Billups. He's not lean, you know what I mean? As, Chauncey Billups, we call him the bodyguard, right? He's not like a physical, you know what I mean? Like Chauncey Billups had like a fullback frame, but Steph, he's cut. He's cut. And he obviously has, he's got good lower body strength, right? You know what I mean? Got good, strong lower body, like our, baseball players, that's where your power comes from. And where am I going? Why am I going with this? And then there's, because you don't do what he did in that way just without being, it's not, right? That's why Steph Curry, people sit and blame him with, and I'm going to move off this point because I got a number of things we need to talk about because I ain't forgot about Tatum. By the way, like, comment, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the, I appreciate you. And we're just going to go around and see what the heck is going on. We got a couple people on the YouTube, respect and appreciation. Okay. Facebook is what it is. And we are a couple people in the Twitter space. I appreciate you, East Coast, West Coast. Love and appreciation. We on the Twitch. I ain't forgot about your boy, Jason Tatum. I ain't forgot about that. We're going to get into that. Okay. But with Steph, I just want to as again we talk about, that's 1,000 shots a day to do what he did in that spot, how he did. That's 1,000 shots a day. That's the Mamba mentality. But in conclusion on the point, I was really encouraged. Watch those late possessions. That ball is moving around. He's not hogging the ball. He's giving, and there's nothing, you know what I mean? That's crazy. And basketball folks will know this, particularly, and I never, I'm a worker bee on the basketball court. I'm not one of these high level players. But when you get like these all-star teams together and you see these guys that are incredibly talented, but, have high basketball IQs and they share the ball amongst each other. Not that nobody, because they're not scared to take the big shot. They're not scared to take the big shot. But they also, you know what I mean? When a man is hot, we're going to feed you, man. You hot, you know what I mean? We're going to go to the hot man. And you saw that taking place. There was just one sequence where the ball skipped all the way around. And from the baseline, they kicked it back out to Steph. I think that's when he up fake dude flew by. He took that one dribble, had time, and it was just like, you know what it is. So that was beautiful and poetry from a team standpoint to get Steph where he was. This Jason Tatum situation, man. I don't know what the heck is wrong with Steve Kerr. I don't know what's wrong with Steve Kerr, right? From the standpoint that you saw in the championship game that Derek White caught the DNP and Tatum, like when Durant came up, like that. So Durant came out, Tatum came in. Boom, done. He played, you know what I mean? Steph Curry got him going, with the look ahead dunk. And he was doing I got 5 chats. What's that going on with these chats, man? What's going on with these chats? Okay, these chats. Live stream chat? Who the live stream chat? Hey, what's going on? Okay. I got, all right, so I can see, the live, I can see what you're doing on the YouTube. I don't have to go to YouTube. I can see what's going on, my machine, man. Hold on. Hold on. My machine, man. Machine. I'm going to call you machine, man. Just keep, you know what I mean? What's good? What's good? I appreciate that. Okay? Couple people checking in with me. I didn't realize. See, I'm new to this technology. Some of the young folks is rocking with you. I appreciate the young folk rocking with me. I appreciate that. It's late, folks. It's past midnight, but guess what? It's summertime. The summertime. We getting it right now. Now, if it was September and October, I don't know on a Tuesday. I don't know if we could do this on a Tuesday night in September and October. I'm coming from an education background, so my young people, get your rest. But we in the summertime. We get it. The Cape is rocking right now. The Cape is rocking. Beautiful weather today. Beautiful weather. And so today's Tuesday. We had a tremendous final for the Cape League final. I wasn't there. The Harbor Hawks got knocked off. I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on that. But shout out to the. I was actually in Harwich today, refereeing. I was in Harwich. Shout out to the Harwich Mariners winning the Cape League championship. They did that in Bourne. Bourne, respect. Y'all knock my Harbor Hawks off. So I ain't happy about that. I'm not happy that Bourne knocked the Harbor. I'm not happy with you for knocking the Harbor Hawks out. All right, Bourne Braves. They knocked us out the last couple of years, and even though we had the better record, we had the home field. It was a rainy day. You knocked us out. Not pleased. But Bourne, they won the last 2, and it was Game 3 in Bourne, and Harwich got them. So that was yesterday. Beautiful day. Tuesday today was a beautiful day. We're supposed to have nice weather this week. You got to make hay while the sun shines. Maybe make hay while the sun shines. That's what a wise person told me. And so we getting it right now in the Cape in the summertime. We enjoying it. We enjoying a couple people rocking me YouTube. That's a beautiful thing, right? I ain't forgot about Jason Tatum though. I don't care if I'm a half hour. I ain't forgot. I see the former young folks. Y'all grown up right now. A couple people in the chat. Respect. Y'all doing big things. Y'all doing big things in school and being successful. I love to see it. Respect. Now, folks, Jason Tatum was done dirty. There's no way around that fact. Steve Kerr, I thought he was up front in terms of talking about it. And you know what I mean? I understand shortening rotations. I get that everybody, we don't do YMCA. We don't do feelings. We don't do participation trophies, right? When it come down to the get down, what did Pat Riley say? Pat Riley basically said, you know what I mean? I trust 7, I play 6, and he said it differently than that, but really a 7-man rotation. I believe in that, you know what I mean? Because Tibbs is my guy. Tibbs is my guy. He's my coach for the Knicks. a short rotation, right? So I understand all of that. Nonetheless, Jason Tatum not only is an NBA champion, all NBA first team. He plays defense. He's coachable. He's team first. For somebody, if a player is pouting or has that's the thing that even makes me more angry about the whole Jason Tatum situation, is that those would be the only justifications for a player of his caliber and skill. And like Jason Tatum, right? My 2K people know who he is. My 2K people know who he is, right? He's the cover boy. He's the cover boy in the cover of 2K, okay? And deservedly so. And my man Jaylen Brown should be on the cover soon too. We ain't forgot about Jaylen. And he's doing some incredible things in the community right now. Incredible things, okay? I ain't forgot about Jaylen. But Jason Tatum, not just he's the cover boy for 2K, he is, you know what I mean? All of the great things about LeBron and about KD and about Steph Curry, and they're great players, but they have the team sense and all the rest of that stuff. Tatum embodies all of that as well. So why the heck is he not getting on the floor? You know what I mean? He's not. If you get somebody that's like in between the team and angry, and causing dissension, then you would have to use that nuclear option. But that's not who Jason Tatum is, and I won't hear any arguments otherwise. I mean, he didn't bring that. Jason Tatum did not bring no negative energy to Team USA. He's not bringing none of that. So, and you saw it in the gold medal game, the rotation where, like Derek White, yes, we know that Derek White is there to be a worker bee, to be an energy guy, to be like an Andre Iguodala, right? Type of a player, to do all the little things. That's not necessarily what you want Jason Tatum to do, even though he can do that. Okay, but that's not, Jason Tatum's an MVP candidate. So he's not a Rudy Rudiger, but he will defend, he will rebound, he will, he's bigger than Derek White, you know what I mean? He's 6'9", 6'10". He can do all those things. It worked in the championship game. Tatum in the rotation, Derek White out of the rotation. So what the heck is up with all these DNPs? Honestly, what the heck is up with all these DNPs? Let's throw out the Serbia game, because Serbia, that game was all bets are off. I got it. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it. I didn't watch. I watched. I followed the box score. I saw Serbia was just ahead of them. You know what I mean? I could just see, and you could just feel it. You could just see, and just basketball people. You know what I mean? Like, and then USA scored 32 points out of nowhere in the fourth quarter and held them to 15. You know what I mean? They were plus 17 or whatever in the fourth quarter, just gangbusters. Okay, but I did not watch to see, to know, you know what I mean? To see, you know what I mean? Get that feel. So if Tatum didn't play in the Serbia game, then maybe he shouldn't have played, whatever. But the other game's no damn excuse. I don't care. No damn excuse. Particularly because you're smacking these teams silly. And another thing that you have to kind of factor in and say, and this is where it gets a little bit dicey, but it doesn't get dicey. It doesn't get dicey for me, right? Because if you have a star player like a KD, you know what I mean, or like at that, and they don't play, you don't want to like give them. It's they'd rather just catch a DNP, I think, than you just give them like 5 minutes at the end of the game in garbage time. You can't really do that as well. If you know what I'm saying. Basketball people know what I mean by that. You ain't gonna give a KD 5 minutes at the end of the fourth quarter when you're up 20. That is worse than him not playing at all, right? That's worse than him not playing at all. So that option is out. But what you can do, Steve Kerr, to throw that foolishness out there, is play him the whole fourth quarter. The whole fourth quarter. Like you're up 20, whatever, you know what I mean? Or you're up 15. All right, now, Jason Tatum, you're going to be our one for the entire fourth quarter. You can do that. Right? So in these games where Team USA is ahead, even, right, if you're up, and coach, you should know this. And it's not like Jason Tatum is some bum that's gonna have a low plus minus. It's not like Jason Tatum is gonna come in the game and you're up 17 and he's gonna leave and you're down and you're up 3. So what are you even talking about? If you're up big in the third quarter, you put Jason Tatum in with like 3 minutes to go and just play him the rest of the game. Okay. So yeah, odd. There's more there. I'm not, you know what I mean? It just, and then the point that was made, and you notice the geometry is right? My geometry right tonight. So when the geometry, shout out to the barber, my barber, Blake's Barbershop, shout out, and we got a lot of great barbers and people out there, and you know what I mean, doing a thing, respect. But when my geometry get right, we're doing an episode, folks. We're doing an episode. So I had to go in because I look a little bit scruffy. Frankly. had some ball games today, and I said, no, this can't stand no more. I got to get my line right. And I go to your barber. The barber is like a hub in the community. It's also kind of like your therapist, and you know what I mean. You go in there and you just talk, and you know what I mean, get your mind. You know what I mean, and just it's good atmosphere, great people over there. But at the barbershop, and the point was made, that Jason Tatum, he's, it just did not. It made no sense. He could do all the things that you needed. He had the right attitude, had the right perspective. It was just, there's more on. Oh yeah, the point that was made at the barbershop that needs to kind of come in there is Jason Tatum was on the team in 2020 under Popovich when they had some issues. I believe they lost a game in the pool play in 2020, and then they got right and they went on to win the gold. Jason Tatum was on that team. Anthony Edwards was not on that team, so he done his time as well. You gotta. They won the goal. We don't need drama for drama's sake. We don't need drama for drama's sake. Respect. I appreciate the people that's with me. And I replied. Can you see that? Hold on. I replied in over here, but let me reply in YouTube. Okay, I saw that. Okay, so I'm one of your former students. We're gonna keep that 100. I appreciate you. And we can see so we can see the same thing. Let me just get my technical side right. All right, so it's good. When I say something over here in the Riverside, it goes to the YouTube. It's a brave new world, folks. It's a brave new world. Facebook is still doing what it's doing. We're getting a couple of viewers on the Twitter side. Respect, I appreciate my people on the West Coast. Much love, you know what I mean? And let me rock with me. Let me know good, bad, and different. All the comments, questions, comment, concern. Back to Jason Tatum, Steve Kerr. You won't notice, my man. You won't notice for that foolishness. We got the goal. We got the job done. But you got Steve Kerr. It's time for. We need Spoelstra. 2028, come to Los Angeles. Spoelstra need to be on that sideline leading the charge. I done had enough of Steve Kerr. I done had enough. Yeah, and that's kind of no, but still, it's what I mean. The job was done. This Jason Tatum thing is. As of right now, without any new information, I'm supposed to 2028 all day. I'm supposed to, because that was. I don't know. I don't know why you in the gold medal game after people pressured you, you can, give Jason Tatum some love, but I don't know. Maybe even if there was, you know what I mean. I still can't. Even if Jason Tatum did, and I imagine he was a little bit pissed because there was disrespect. In these games that you're winning handily, and Team USA did before the Serbia, debacle, they were smacking teams around. You could have gotten it right in some of those games without some of these DMPs. Even if Jason Tatum was out there and was out of rhythm, so what? So what? He's Jason Tatum. Let him play through a little rough patch. You're still going to win those pool play and quarterfinal games. Okay, and you know what I mean, and just you could have squashed it. My point is that you could have squashed it then. Let him play, let him work out the kinks, let him get the whatever out. You know what I mean. You're still gonna win the game. You don't have this narrative, and you just move forward. Okay, but you didn't. So I'm supposed to 2028 in Miami, and that's that. Okay, we got a number of other things we got to get to. We about 40 minutes in. We not even. Okay, we're going to continue on. Shout out to the Team USA women, 8 straight gold. Shout out to Team France for making this game close. Now, mind you, the last, because they only won by 1, but they were up 3, and then the last possession, France, it was rushed. That wasn't even close to being, it wasn't like a KD versus, it wasn't like, Brooklyn versus Milwaukee, KD 3, where his toe just nipped the line, where, it was clearly a 2. And so France was, they really lost. I'm glad she made the shot, but they really lost by a 3 versus it being a 1-point game. But just to be in the game like they were and to challenge Team USA, again, doing it for your country, doing it for the motherland, doing it for the love. Gabby Williams, right? Balling out. Yeah, respect. I just love that, And again, there was pain on the podium. There's pain. right? Which is the seeds for greatness. Pain represents the seeds for greatness, right? So to see that French team and how they was just, it hurts, right? But they're never going to forget that, and they'll be back, and they'll be heard from again. And they really represented themselves quite to because this Team USA, women's basketball. And by the way, it was a 9:00 game, right? People, Sunday morning, early morning game. Close to 10 million viewers. Close to 10 million viewers for the women's basketball. As LeBron was there. I mean, this whole, again, we going back to 97. We going back to the late, great David Stern, okay, who had the vision for the WNBA, which, by the way, is successful to this day, and we'll get to that. We'll get to the dollars. We'll get to why the WNBA is a huge part of the basketball culture writ large globally. We're going to get to that. But we going back to, I remember being, as a freshman, just ecstatic. We're going to have basketball in the summer, women's basketball, and Cheryl Miller and no, not Cheryl Miller. Cheryl Miller decided not to play in WNBA. Possibly the greatest women's basketball player of all time. That's a whole, Cheryl Swoops. And Tina, I forget Tina. She played for the Houston Comets, won a championship. I forget her last name. Lisa Leslie, obviously, for the Sparks. Yeah. A professional women's basketball league, to have it, and to have a place and a space for our great women's basketball players. Yeah. That's 97, right? 27 years ago, the league is still going on and going, I said it, strong. And they done won 8 straight gold medals, and they've been dominant. And so first, let me just get to the Team USA and this, you know what I mean? So respect. Diana Taurasi has 6 gold medals. 6. Left UConn in 03, 02? I believe Sue Bird was 02 and Taurasi was 04. I think that's how it worked out. So Taurasi 04, 08, 12, 16, 20, 24. Taurasi 6 gold medals. The White Mamba. Right? Folks, and I've been on both sides of this, but it really kind of hit home, crystal clear that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would have been great additions to the Team USA roster if they could have had 14 people, right? But that's not really right. We can't just have 14 people just to get ratings. It's really a 12-person roster, and what we have to establish. I'm not retiring and refiring, right? I sensed a little dip in my energy. You know what I mean? As we come up on the 43-minute mark, but now I'm back on my game, baby. We might get 2 out. We 12:30. We might have to smash through that 1 o'clock, right? Because it's the summertime, right? You know what I mean? We in the mix. We in the move. We in the moving and the groove. And the energy dip, but now we back. Okay, all right. Like that little power burst when you went to Sonic. I ain't got a power burst. So we back with full energy and force as we attack this topic. And there's a number of the things that we got to get to. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm interested in all of that. Comments, certainly. What's good, what's bad, what needs to be better, all that good stuff. Let me know. Okay, now back to Caitlin Clark and why Team USA made the right decision, and why just we have to put respect that, right? Caitlin Clark is extremely marketable, and she's extremely talented, and she's great for the game and all the rest of that stuff. The Team USA women's basketball program, you have to wait. You got to wait to get on, because I just told you the White Mamba has 6 gold medals. Breanna Stewart is like 4. And in the women's game, you know what I mean? Like the top players want to play in the Olympics. They want to be there. There's an extremely strong culture. This is something that they check off. This is an achievement that matters, right? And it's the same on the men's side. But on the men's side, if we didn't have the disaster last year in the World Championships, LeBron and the Avengers wouldn't have come on back. They would have let the next generation handle business. They would have let the Tatums and the Anthony Edwards and the, handle business. but the New Jacks wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. Like the Mikal Bridges, who's going to lead my Knicks to a championship. 2025 NBA champions, New York Knicks. We'll come back to that. Okay, the New Jacks wasn't getting the job done, so the old heads had to come back and get it right. Okay, but if we handle business and we were smacking teams still like we should be, then LeBron and Steph, it's interesting that Steph, that he wanted to be there to get a gold medal. That was an interesting narrative. But it would have been like, KD has plenty of goals. Like, you know what I mean? AD, like these guys, you know what I mean? I think they would have let the young guys have it had we been rolling because they've already had that moment. Whereas the women, and I have no issue with this. I got no issue with Aja Wilson getting 6 gold medals. I got no issue with Breonna Stewart getting 6, you know what I mean? But that just shows you, right? Like, imagine like if LeBron won it in 8, LeBron won it in 12, and then LeBron, LeBron was like, I'm done now. Carmelo came back in 16, but like LeBron was like, I'm good. Like we done proved the point. But imagine if LeBron kept coming back as long as he's in the league to just continue to play. And that's what you have in the women's game. So, folks, that's why Caitlin Clark really could not be on this roster. She might have been a fringe player, but not really because you have to pay your dues on the women's side. It's just a fact of life. And there's not the space for the New Jacks without leapfrogging somebody that has waited 4 years and deserves that spot, right? So that's the whole Caitlin Clark, and it's not just Caitlin Clark, it's also our homegirl from B-More, Angel Reese. Oh, yes, who's balling out. That's why these two new faces of the league had to stand down. They did. And the ratings were still high. But even, you know what I mean? Even, we can't do that. We can't do that with this Olympics because it's serious, right? Sometimes people say it's not that serious, but this is that serious, right? Sometimes when you out, your old girl, not that serious. No, this is serious. This is really serious. This code, you know what I mean? Shout out to the wire. A man got to have a code. This is the real code. And in Team USA, you have to, because, you know what I mean? There's that, you know what I mean? We're not going to let Caitlin Clark get her first gold medal and deny the White Mamba her 6th gold medal. We're not doing that. If the White Mamba won a 6th gold medal, if the White Mamba won a 7th gold medal, White Mamba going to get that 7th gold medal. Now, that's 4 years out. Taurasi is getting long in the tooth, but Taurasi, aging like that fine wine. You heard me, babe? She aging like that fine wine. You heard me? Yes. So Taurasi might still be thorough and ready in 2028. You know what I mean? And she Los Angeles kid connection and all that stuff. You know what I mean? She might want a 7th gold medal. She might already be scheming it up. And she's going to be giving you 15, 16, 17 points and a little bit of attitude. You know what I mean? You want to talk about clutch points? You want to talk about clutch players? That's the White Mamba right there. Right? So you got to stand down. Now, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, you know what I mean? All, good fortune, you know what I mean? All that stuff, you know what I mean? Love. They're going to be there in 2028. But, right, we saw, like, that they made the right decision. 2024, we got to give credit where credit is due. The ratings were still there. And, yeah. We got greatness, and we're going to appreciate the world, and shout out to France and shout out to the rest of the world for showing strong and making that gold medal game very, very, very competitive. It was very, very, very competitive. But the USA women were not to be denied at all, and came through. And it was a beautiful thing. We're gonna just touch, Olympics, just kind of big picture. And then we're gonna move on. We got some football we're gonna get to. We got some football things that are happening. Patriots, you know what I mean? We're gonna discuss the Patriots, and we got some of the young Jacks, the new Jacks that's already, Caleb Williams is already looking, Bo Nix is out there already looking. So and any given Sunday. Any given Sunday is what you right. So we have some things that are percolating right now in the NFL that we need to get to. But I just want to look at the Olympics overall. I had a couple off days. Everybody have off days, right? I had some off days, last week here and there. We got to get, we no excuses. We don't have no excuses, right? We don't have excuses, right? Nobody cares. Work harder. But in full honesty, and just full disclosure, I had some off days where I didn't do everything that I needed to do, and that's like where the Olympics. It's a beautiful thing because, right, this is some of these. This is 4 years, 4 years for their moment. In these different sports, right? If you haven't seen the 1500 meters race, check it out. It's crazy. You saw what happened with Noah Lyles in the 100-meter race. Crazy. Okay, Sha'Carri Richardson. Apologize if I get that name wrong. Let me go over here and Google that up. Let me, Sha'Carri, you know what I mean? Getting the Sha'Carri Richardson. Yep. Okay. Getting the 100-meter. What the heck is this going on here? Oh, that's the. I thought the TV here was like a separate screen. It made me get a little tired, but not so much. Not so much. Sha'Carri Richardson getting the 100-meter, the 4x100-meter, getting her gold medal. How she finished that race, coming from behind. That gave me, really a lot of, right. We have days. Everybody have days. That's just life. Doesn't matter who you are. It is what it is. But it was crazy. The on different ends of the spectrum, I'm over here having a pseudo pity party with all these resources, all this opportunity, all of this, abundance that I'm, fortunate to have in my life. Is everything easy? Do we have challenges? Yes. But, overall, first world problems. I have a lot of first world problems in my life. Okay. Really a lot of things that are not problems. Just need to get out of everybody else's business and do me. Right. A lot of our problems is you know what I mean. We in here doing the boo boop. We doing a lot of boo boop, right? And if we just got out of everybody else's business and just did our own thing, we'd have a lot less problems. You heard me? That's just me. I don't know. But the Olympics is great because you get a chance, like the Katie Ledecky's. We just going with the people that that is just. But every one of these athletes, they really put themselves on that journey just to have that moment and that chance to get there, and then for people to actually get there. Okay. Why is her name escaping my Gabby Thomas, our 200-meter champion? Why can't I remember these top sprinters? Yes, Gabby Thomas, our 200-meter champion, who I found is from Northampton. She's from the Commonwealth. Say what? Shout out to the Harvard Crimson. Neuroscience. Say what? You know what I mean? And just, you get it, talking and how, she made it through Harvard and decided, that she was going to pursue, you know what I mean? People, and for all the pity party stuff that I was doing, you just listen to like somebody like Gabby Thomas and it's like, yo, I put it on the line. It's like, even though I had this and that going on, I said, something, I'm focusing on running. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm doing it. And the people said, do this, do that, do the third. And, no, I'm doing this. And now that she's a gold medalist and, now that, you know what I mean? She's all the way up. It's all applause now. Right. But where was the support when you was in the grind? Right. If you've seen that meme, how many people are with you during the support time? How many people are with you during the congratulations time? If you've seen that one, right. Right. So that's what really struck me and was really great about the Olympics. The closing ceremony, seeing all the different countries, you know what I mean? And people just happy to be there and bringing, right? We live in a crazy, dangerous, world. But the Olympics, bringing the people together, the different cultures, you know what I mean? That, kind of speaks to us, to me at least. But then just, that's really a lot of, I think that lesson more so because everybody's not, the superstars are the superstars, and, the global icons are the global icons. And then there's just humanity, the rest of us. And for the majority of us, the story of the Olympic athlete is really the story of our lives, I think, right? Is that, the majority is anonymity, right? One of my heroes, Ken Burns, documentary filmmaker, one of my great heroes. Check out Ken Burns. You'll learn to like history. Even if you don't like history, you'll learn to like it through Ken Burns films. I guarantee that. You might not need to watch 10 hours of the Civil War, but you can watch half an hour, and I think I'm very confident you'll appreciate it. But Ken Burns talks about, and it took him, by the way, 5 years to do the Civil War project, which is still, early 90s. So what, 30 some odd years, right? But, 5 years of, he calls a vow. He said when he does his project, he says, I got to take a vow of poverty and anonymity. I take a vow of poverty and anonymity. So nobody wasn't screaming, wasn't when he was doing the project. He was just a working class, person, paycheck to paycheck in New Hampshire. But then we have the Civil War documentary, and then that was, I mean, he's a luminary now, and he just does all the projects that he wants to do, and great projects, and plenty of money and all the rest of that stuff. But in the formative years, it was poverty and anonymity. So the Olympics, I that's the takeaway. That's really, we have our days. I was having a day, it was crazy to be having my day and just out of sorts and got to get through this and that and the third. But then to be seeing people on that podium and on that gold medal stand on the absolute other end of the spectrum, and I think that informed me a lot, that, you know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? You're going to have them, whatever. But there's another way to go about this. There's a Gabby Thomas way to go about this. There's a, you know what I mean? There's a Katie Ledecky way to go about this. There's a Simone Biles way to go about this, right? As well. Not that you're gonna ever get to that podium, but in our own lives, I think, and you know what I mean, that can inform us if we can have anywhere, if we can have any, like a smidgen of the consistency and the consistency, and then just the vision and passion for the things that we do, that these Olympians have. You know what everybody else says. Who cares? Be damned. We'll reach our own podiums, and that'll be a beautiful thing. So shout out to the Olympics. So yeah, basketball. We're not gonna do too much NBA because we discussed that through the Olympic teams and those storylines and those narratives. We're gonna finish. We're gonna about an hour. We're gonna do some NFL here. And interest in full disclosure, let me just go check, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you. A couple people rocking with me. Couple people. I appreciate that. We're gonna come back to basketball. Actually, I'm gonna do some football, and then we're gonna come back to basketball. I've talked about Steph, but there's a couple Steph Curry narratives that I'll probably finish with this. Steph Curry, the greatest point guard of all time. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. Those things will be discussed. But I'm going to do some football, and then I'm going to loop back to those things, and that'll be the conclusion of the show, unless anybody else has anything. So on and forth. NFL, let's just play the hits in terms of what we saw. Caleb Williams looked good. Bears put up a whole bunch of points. It might be a new day in the Windy City. Preseason is the preseason, right? Preseason is tantamount to, well, it's the preseason, right? I'm not going to, NBA, Summer League, whatever. It's the preseason. Nonetheless, eye test from the beginning, Joe Burrow was a dude. You know what I'm talking about. He's been injured. Another reason why the AFC is an absolute juggernaut. But Joe Burrow showed you from the beginning that he was a dude. And then he's just been, there's been injuries, and his offensive line was bad. And people said they should have, drafted an offensive lineman. They drafted Jamar Chase. How'd that work out? They made a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow was a dude from the start. Caleb Williams, and how, so that, it's just a preseason, but he looked like a doggone dude. And the Bears have weapons, so that would be great. a city that, has been kind of in the doldrums to kind of get some momentum and be in there and be in the mix? Are they going to all of us? And the NFC is just wide open, frankly. I think the AFC is an absolute gauntlet, and there's just really no two ways about that. The NFC is much more wide open. Shout out to the Detroit Lions, who I want to see get back to the NFC Championship game. Yes, I said it. Love Dan Taylor. Hold on, Lions coach. I say Dan Taylor. Dan Taylor is a coach. Lions coach. Dan Campbell, excuse me. Dan Taylor is one of our good coaches here on the Cape and Islands region. Dan Campbell, yeah. But that would be, for me, I just love the, and in football, the parity in the league and new teams rise up. But Caleb Williams, for how, he's eccentric. You can be eccentric when but as long as you're winning, and you can be yourself, as long as, as long as you're getting it done. And so how he came out there, boom, bang, bang. So, hey, man, paint your fingernails and wear the outfits and be outspoken. Because if you're getting the job done on the field, all that stuff is gravy. He went out there, boom, ping, and handled his business on the field. Bo Nix for the Denver Broncos, who have been lacking a quarterback since Peyton Manning. And, who were lacking quarterback, it was like John Elway, nothingness, Peyton Manning, nothingness, and now maybe Bo Nix can be a serviceable quarterback to execute Sean Payton's offense, to get this team rocking and rolling, and so that they don't give up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins. And Sean Payton isn't on the sidelines going off and, face beat red, screaming at a veteran quarterback. That's another interesting storyline, that if Broncos with the Walton money, I hope they're not the stupid money at the table, giving all this money to Sean Payton. It wouldn't really make them, because they do got that monopoly money, right? But would I like to see the Broncos get into a nip and tuck game and maybe steal one from the Chiefs? That would be, and Sean Payton, to kind of, after this rocky start, to kind of get back on his feet and show that, listen, I'm a coach that could do it and do it at the highest level. And last year was what it was, but now I'm back in the saddle. Speaking of back in the saddle, really excited for the Chargers. Love Harbaugh. Love those doggone khaki pants that he be wearing. In terms of, just has his way of doing things, and I ain't changing. I'm walking around in my khaki pants like I'm a physical ed teacher, from the 1980s, and I coach football, and and I coach, I coach football, I coach baseball, and I'm an assistant coach on the basketball team, and and just walking around with that old school standard, old school way of doing things, quirky, loved his parents, in the after they won the championship at Michigan, who's got it better than us? Who? Nobody. That's the energy you gotta have. Appreciate and be grateful. Who got it better than us? Nobody. And you can see how Harbaugh is, how he is, and the dad was a coach. The two sons are very good coaches. Really excited for the Chargers. Crazy that the Harbaughs are both in the same conference. So the Chargers and the Ravens, that's gonna be, but I think, he just knows ball. He knows how to coach. You know what I mean? And people say he's going to burn through some people. Let him burn through them. Because and I just, with Harbaugh, and you know what I mean? Because you can be different and do things your way. But listen, Harbaugh bought a natty to Michigan. Harbaugh took a natty away from the SEC. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Since when does the Big Ten take natties from the SEC? That don't happen no more. All right? We know where the best college football is being played, below the Mason-Dixon. No two ways about that. Big Ten, what? Natty? What? You know what I mean? Y'all get 40 pieces. Y'all get mollywopped. Right? Y'all come out here, you know what I mean? It's like JV and varsity when the SEC plays the other conferences and shout out to the NCAA finally expanding it. That was crazy. Georgia didn't make the tournament last year. That's bananas. That's crazy. Georgia's number one team all year. They lose one and they don't make the tournament. Florida State, what happened to them? Don't tell D-Tomp, my man D-Tomp, huge Florida. You know what I mean? Craziness. So I'm glad they're finally expanding it. And so you know what I mean? Now, the ninth team, I don't have nearly as much love for you. Oh, my goodness. Boise State didn't get in, but I don't have as much sympathy for Boise State as I do for a Georgia or a Florida State, the Power 5 team. I'm sorry, I just don't. But Harbaugh bringing a natty to to Michigan, so really excited. Him with Herbert, we saw the type of the leaps in what happened with Trevor Lawrence when he had the right coach versus the wrong coach. Even though Urban Meyer is a very good coach, he was the wrong coach for the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. And then Trevor Lawrence gets the right coach in night and day. And so I think Harbaugh is going to have that same effect with Justin Herbert and on that team that's very talented. And you're just going to have another, the AFC is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Chargers are going to be good. And you know what I mean? I'm just naming these teams, and it's just like Chargers are going to be much improved. Denver is going to be improved. Kansas City has not gone anywhere. Joe Burrow's coming back. So Cincy's going to be back in the mix. Baltimore, another championship favorite. The Browns have the pieces. Can Deshaun Watson get his act together? Okay, Miami is what they are. The Jets having the drama, but extremely talented. The Jets, they got a little bit of, but if the Jets can just stop cannibalizing each other and just put on for their city, New York, would because the Giants look like they're going to be whatever. But if the Jets can just get past, killing, just savaging each other and just win and let that city embrace them, bonkers. Okay, Buffalo trying to do a less is more thing, which I think might be successful for them, just kind of circling the wagons in their culture. But I don't think Buffalo doesn't really scare me so much. Houston is going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, and that I just looked at AFC everywhere you look. It just seems like you got talent on top of talent on top of talent. And where we're going to conclude with the football, in case anybody has anything, like, comment, subscribe, let me know, whatever, you know what I mean? I appreciate you. We going across, and all right. We good across the board. We crossing over. We're going to make it to 1 o'clock, and then we're going to probably, at 1 o'clock, we'll probably call it. But a good episode in the summertime, and got a men's league playoff game tomorrow. I got to get some sleep, and I have other important events, community events tomorrow to be ready for to you know what I mean? But sometimes, you know what I mean? That's what the thing behind this. Yeah, the rest, and rest is very important, by the way. Rest is very important. Let me I'm going to do the slice of life last. I'm going to do the slice. I'm not going to get you too much of slice of life, but I do have a couple of slice of life things to do. Proud of myself. I boiled some eggs today. Very proud of myself. Eggs are sitting in the refrigerator for like over a week. I'm trying to do the healthy snacks. Definitely know I got to hydrate more. I got to hydrate. Right? Anybody seen those big jugs of water which show you how much water you should have like at every hour of the day? And it's like, because you should be drinking a gallon of water a day, I guess, which is a lot of water. And then you got to exercise to let that water kind of go through your system and get the, you know what I mean? So I've been doing a little bit more of that. But okay, make it to 1, and then we're gonna but a couple other. Gerard Mayo, that's my guy. Patriots. I thought the Patriots only won 4 games last year. Wow. Patriots going to win more than 4 games this year, but it's going to be tough sledding. Nonetheless, love this narrative and these things talking about the Patriots possibly getting Brandon Ayuk. I love that. They're going to have to give up, arm and a leg, which, this is like rebuild. How much do you give up for him? And it's going to be tough for Ayuk, right? Anywhere he lands outside of Kansas City, because, they have the blueprint. But you come to New England, you play for a Jacoby Brissett, in a team that's kind of versus playing in that offense. So I'd love to have him in New England. It would be a reclamation project, and it wouldn't be anywhere near the same to me as Miami getting Tyreek Hill. Because, not Scott Van Pelt. Alex, the offense coordinator for the Patriots, I believe it's Alex Van Pelt. Let me double check that. Alex Van. Yep. got that right, is not what Mike McDaniels is. As a, I'm not going to put him in the same category as Mike McDaniels. Patriots don't have a Jalen Waddle to go along with Tyreek Hill and these other weapons, Mostert, all the rest of these, to kind of to have that high powered offense. But it'd be great if they could get Ayuk and then build around him. But that whole situation, is Ayuk, San Francisco not trading him, on and on and on. Bottom line is this: it's not that you win or lose; it's how you win or lose. Not that you win or lose; it's how you win or lose. The Patriots are going to be competitive this year. They're not going to get blown out. That's what I'm standing on with Gerard Mayo. There's going to be a culture, and that this team is going to battle. This team is going to be in games. All right? It's not that you're losing, you're learning how to win. That's what I'm confident that Gerard Mayo can and will establish. That's what I'm looking for. AFC, being just off the charts. It is what it is. They're thrown in, you're getting thrown into the fire. Oh, it has to be what it has to be. But that's the journey that you have to walk. Coming after the great Bill Belichick, even though the end of the dynasty was tumultuous and embarrassing at times, right? You're still coming after Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick didn't become who he is on easy street. Go ahead and check out the two Bills. Matter of fact, I might throw on the two Bills after, as I'm doing my little boop. Throw on the ESPN Plus, the 30 for 30. I might have to get the two Bills in my life. There's so many great 30 for 30s. You can't go wrong. Got to let Willis out. Willis, we got to walk around. Got to get Willis. We went for a nice little walk today. Today was a good day. It's a busy day, and tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing as the summer kind of winds down. All right, and then we got some challenges ahead, and they're gonna be beautiful as well. To step up to the plate, on the new challenges. And hey, that's what you got to. That's what it is. That's the challenge. I've said challenge a number of times. That's the reality that can bring the best out of you, or you can kind of fall back. You can fall back. Gerard Mayo is going to step forward and stand tall. He's going to stand tall. Patriots are going to be competitive. They're going to be. You're going to lose to the Jets. You're going to lose to the Dolphins. You're going to probably lose to the Bills. Okay, but you're going to go down swinging. You're going to land some punches. You might get a dub, but I'm gonna connect on a couple. I'm gonna give you something. You're gonna have to feel me now, baby. You're gonna feel me, baby. Okay, you know what I mean. And by the way, there's certain people that in life, right, that have that mentality, like I'm talking it now in a room by myself, like lowering my voice. You're gonna have to feel me now. You know what I mean. But just some of the fantasy chat, I'm on a losing streak in my baseball league. I gotta get right because I'm about to get bounced from the playoffs. It's not fair. My bats just went silent, so that's a different point. But you know what I mean? There's people in your life that that live that mentality, right? I'm not one of them. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And you know what I mean? Depending on what you say, if you hear from the women, you know what I mean? They might say what they say, but lover, not a fighter. But then you got those people that's just like, yeah, man, I might lose, but I'm gonna get some shots in. I might take an L. I might get dotted up or whatever. You know what I mean? All in. You know what I mean? Not gonna do anything crazy. But you gonna feel some of my power too, in the losing effort, because I'm gonna stand tall. That's what I'm expecting from Gerard Mayo. That's what I'm looking forward to from this Patriots team this year. Okay. After Tom Brady, I'm not gonna. We've already talked about it. It was a wild, magical carpet ride once Tom Brady left New England, and what these last 4 years have been. And everybody, what the heck I'm talking about. It's not just that the Patriots lost, how they lost, and the disparity between do your job in the Patriot way, and then the last 4 years, and then all the drama that surrounds it, has just been wild. Frankly, Gerard Mayo is going to come in and establish some stability, okay, and a culture and a toughness. And you know what I mean? And they're going to, there's not going to be, but I'm just, the people that are going to want to, the record and the good old days with Bill, you know what I mean? I can't wait to push back and I'll come on your show, you come on this show, whatever, but battle these people, because I think, and I'm saying that the Patriots will be, they're going to be fighters. They're going to be in the mix. They're going to hold their own in, but their record is going to be a losing record. And then they're going to have to build, to slowly build it up to get back to contention in the AFC East, and then kind of go from there. But I'm pulling for the Pats big time this year. Okay, in conclusion, we made it to 1 o'clock. We're about an hour and 15 minutes. So the coronation of Chef Curry, based on what happened in the Olympics, and this is my final. We're gonna go out on this, but people saying he's the greatest point guard of all time. All right, folks, let's just go over a couple things, right? Right? So first of all, right, Steph Curry may be a point guard by, definition, because he's not a two guard, because Klay is a two, so therefore he's the point guard. But Steph Curry is a tweener. He's a combo guard. He's as much two guard as he is point guard, even though he is a skilled and willing and capable passer, right? But, to say, first of all, Steph Curry's career, pound for pound, does not match up to Magic Johnson's career. Period. Just pound for pound. Now, you can say the fortune, Steph's got 4, Magic's got 5, and, their stats, and Steph Curry changed the game with his shooting, and, we can look at their stats. Obviously Steph scored more. Obviously Magic had tremendous, many more assists than Steph. That'd be interesting to kind of look at their total points accounted for between them. That'd be a good, because I think it's either close, or maybe slight advantage Steph, or advantage Magic in terms of total offense, points, and assists. Obviously Magic is a much better rebounder. Neither one of them are shutdown defenders. But yeah, for me, so the 5 championships, the however many finals that Magic went to. We want to talk about super teams, right? Steph, you played with Durant. Look at Magic's team, playing with Kareem, playing with James Worthy, Michael Cooper, Byron Scott, AC Green, Bob McAdoo. Like, Magic's teams were absolutely filthy and loaded. So, the championships are the championships. Why I just say, it's twofold. First of all, Steph is more of an undersized shooting guard. He's more of an undersized shooting guard than he is a point guard. That's my first, you're putting him at point guard because you don't have anywhere else to put him. And you don't want to put him at the 2 guard because you know who's at 2. So you don't want to put him at 2, and you're trying to squeeze him in this all-time team, so you throw him at the point guard. No, we're not doing that. Okay, you're not going to sneak him in over here just because you can't put him over there. He's not a traditional point guard. Quote-unquote traditional. What does that even mean? You know what I mean? So even if you put him in the point guard space, Steph Curry, pound for pound, is not better than Magic Johnson. And you can talk all of your logo threes that you want. First of all, Magic had 5 good years left, if not for not just the diagnosis, but the misunderstanding of the diagnosis. The misunderstanding of the diagnosis. You watch TV. You see all these doggone infomercials, about, different medications for this, that, and the third. You watch TV like I watch TV. All right. So the perception, of the HIV illness today, and I know I'm dating myself, this is early 90s, it's 30 years ago. So obviously perception is going to change. But the fact is, Magic had 5 good years left. 5 minimum. And you saw it when he came back to play for the Dream Team, and him and Michael Jordan battling, and you know what I mean? And even Magic Johnson says it today, I should have stayed. I shouldn't have let them force me out the game. He had good years left that we didn't get a chance to see, unfortunately. That's first of all. So when you're talking about, Steph's numbers, give me pound for pound. Now, I'll give you the championships. You can keep all the 4 championships, but give me Magic's statistics when, versus Steph's career statistics over the, not the averages is what I'm looking at. A, B. Okay. So for all of, Steph's half-court logo, Magic would have killed Steph, taken him down on the block, sky hook all day, every day, short corner, just demolished him. demolished him. Talk about Magic Johnson's MVP years, 87, 88, playing for Pat Riley when he had to kind of, be more selfish and more of like a LeBron James type of a game. But that, right? Another thing that we're going to throw in here, right? And Magic Johnson, I ain't saying no names. He did not blink. So, number of 7-game series, okay, lost some, won some, so on and forth. But Steph was not going to outmaneuver Magic Johnson in close series. He wasn't going to do that. Magic Johnson would have the great. That's another. We don't have. We're going to come back to that. The great Lakers team, like the 87, 88 Lakers teams, or the 85 Lakers, right? The mid, right? So you still got Kareem in his flow and a James Worthy, right? Versus the 2017 Golden State Warrior team. That's a conversation for another day. Because I'm leaning 85 Lakers. Oh, yeah. Oh, they got Steph. Oh, they got KD. Magic would have just demolished. So for all of Steph's logo threes, so Steph takes, 3 logo threes. He's only making one of them. He's not making 2 out of 3. He's not shooting 67% from the logo. He's only making one of them. Just the ridiculous threes. Okay? So that's 3 possessions. Now, Magic taking Steph to the short corner in 3 possessions. So you give Steph 3 points for one of those 3 logo threes, and you give Magic 6, if not more, because Steph's going to have to foul him for every time Magic takes Steph down in the block. That's barbecue chicken. That's barbecue chicken every day. All right? And just if you're seeing Magic would have kept Steph on his hip. He would have kept Steph on his hip and just walked his ass down. That's A. B, you got nobody for Kareem. Done. So you got nobody for prime Kareem. Just done. You can talk 3s for 2s all you want. The Lakers also have Michael Cooper. And I don't know if Byron Scott was on the 85 team. But they had defenders too. So you're not taking wide behind open 3s. You're not just passing the ball around, kicking it, and taking these hero feel-good 3s. No, we got some lockdown defenders. So all your 3s ain't going in. Contrarily, somebody's got to guard James Worthy. Draymond, okay, maybe. But we haven't really, Draymond has not really had to defend like a Pau Gasol type of a player. Right? Draymond's good on the perimeter. He's good angles, leverage, but just dumping it down to Worthy and one-on-one Draymond, you know what time it is. Draymond's not going to Worthy's going to win that battle, period. And you got nobody for Kareem. So you want 3s versus 2s, whatever. I'm taking the 85 Lakers. Okay? Not we got to look folks. I got to say this. Any conversation about the greatest point guard of all time that doesn't include John Stockton is not a real conversation. Any conversation about the greatest point guard of all time that does not include John Stockton is not a real conversation about the greatest point guard of all time. Period. I don't care if you have a bias about how short his shorts were. I don't care if you have a bias about his culture. You talk about the greatest point guards of all time, and if you don't bring up John Stockton, you are not having a factual conversation. This man is the all-time leader. The all-time leader. Retired, 25 years ago? And it's not even close. In assists and steals. John Stockton missed less than 30 games in his 19-year career. You want to talk load management to me? You want to talk about all of these? This guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer just because he's on because his rating is 90, 95 and 2K, and he can do all these crazy tricks, but he never shows up in crunch time. Has never been to an NBA Finals, but he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's the greatest. Great, we just throw great around for talented players who have 0 consistency and 0 winning. A lot of talent. There's a lot of stuff going on in IG and TikTok. They're very fashionable. They're not consistent, and they don't win. But you're going to tell me that these guys are in the all-time, conversation above John Stockton. And obviously Zeke is right there in the mix, right? Zeke is right there in the mix. Okay? Now with Zeke versus a John Stockton, now Zeke has the back-to-back championships, no doubt about it, but he doesn't have the longevity. So Isaiah Thomas played basically like 10, 11, 12 years, had injuries, right? John Stockton played 19 years and missed 30 games. He played every single game, like, what? 15, 16 seasons out of his 19? Hard work is a skill. It's a skill, folks. So, yeah, he needs to be in the conversation, right? John Stockton needs to be in those conversations. Is John Stockton a better, is Steph better than John Stockton? I can give you, you know what I mean? But I'll do it grudgingly. Well, Steph changed the game, and he's the best shooter of all time, and he's got all these championships, right? How many of those against Michael Jordan? Right? Yeah, Patrick Ewing would have some championships. Charles Barkley should have some championships. John Stockton and Karl Malone would have some championships. All right? How many Steph championships were against Michael Jordan? Right? Exactly. All right. So the championship narrative and debate, you can throw that right out the window. If that's going to be the force multiplier that puts Steph over the top against John Stockton. No. And then along with that, folks, so Steph, is he the all-time leader in anything? By like a long shot? Okay. If a player was going to break John Stockton's assist record or steals record, it's been a quarter century. So who's up? Who's breaking those records? Shouldn't LeBron? Is LeBron going to break John Stockton's assist record? That's a good thing to check. I want to check how close LeBron is in terms of his all-time assist to John Stockton. I don't know. I don't think he's close. Because LeBron has played 20. What? LeBron came in 04. So this is year 20. Came in 04, graduated in 03. So this is year 20. John Stockton played 19. And again, missed 30 games in those 19 seasons. So even though Stockton probably has more games than LeBron. But it might be close. All right? Put some respect on John Stockton's name, please. He needs to be in these conversations. He may not be the greatest of all time, but he needs to doggone well be in these conversations. And some of y'all, Steph Curry. And we about getting to that time. Okay? But greatest point guard of all time, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on that. Greatest shooter of all time, a stronger argument. Jerry West, Larry Bird, Pete Maravich, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. Okay? Pump the brakes. Right? We gotta you know what I mean? We don't want to be, and I gotta use this word, and I'm kind of I'll conclude. I'm gonna stay with the Chef Curry. I'm not gonna dive too deep into some of these other narratives that are there. We want quality over quantity, right? We want quality over quantity. But with Chef Curry, he's great. He, you know what I mean? But we're not just going to give him these all-time, whether it be point guard, whether it be shooter, whether it be top 5. We're not doing that based on the spectacle, which was the gold medal game. Okay, I'm not doing that. Others, maybe. Me, heck to the no. Okay, he's in the conversation. Okay, but you gonna give my old school cats some love. You're gonna give John Stockton some love and respect when you're talking about point guards. I've said it and I'll say it again. You're gonna give Isaiah Thomas some respect when it comes to when we're talking about point guards. Okay, you know what I mean? And Steph Curry, okay, now that's a little bit more because Steph, Isaiah is like 6'1". Steph's about 6'4", so he's giving up a couple inches. Steph don't want those problems defensively. We already know that. Willing defense, he'll compete defensively. Zeke, okay, put that man on skates. Zeke gonna cook, and Zeke, talk about a point guard, a smaller guard that can shoot. That's Zeke. All right, we're not going, you know what I mean? Obviously, Steph is Steph. He's the better shooter, but don't act like Isaiah Thomas could not shoot. Catch and shoot, off the dribble, mid-range. Okay, right? 6'1" Isaiah Thomas taking them to Detroit Pistons teams to battle against Magic Johnson and the LA Lakers teams. All right, so prime Zeke and prime Steph, you're talking about a stalemate. Yes, a stalemate. Zeke, better defender, more active in the passing lanes. Yeah. So, folks, when we have, you know what I mean? We're not just going to say, oh, it's between Steph and Magic, and you know what I mean? We haven't even brought in Oscar Robertson. All right, Russell Westbrook with a coach's mind. Right? You combine Russell Westbrook and you know what I mean, LeBron James in terms of IQ. That's Oscar Robertson. Russell Westbrook's, you know what I mean, just all everything, and then LeBron James IQ. And he's not in the conversation just because Steph Curry hit a three from the logo. All right. So we're gonna respect him. We're gonna respect him, but we're gonna respect the legacy and the tradition that we have in the NBA before we crown anybody. Okay, folks. So thank you so much for rocking with me. I'm glad we got this episode in. It's the summertime, folks. We can do these type of things. We're going to have to give up an hour, but it is what it is. We're going to have to do short rest, and we're going to make it up on the back end going into Thursday. That's what it has to be. Okay. I am the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. Thank you so much for tuning in.